everybody. Dave Brown here at ringside. Lance Russell taking the day off. Corey Macklin's here with us, though, and we got quite a day coming up.
Quite a day indeed. The USWA Tag Champions, PG-13. They're going to be right here with us today. Also loping around is Primetime Brian Lee. He's on the card today as well. Hey, Jerry the King Lawler right here in the ring. We'll be seeing the King in action. Two sexy Brian Christophers here. A bunch of it today, Dave Brown.
And a lot of other things going on in the USWA. Yeah. For instance, Tommy Wildfire Rich will not be joining. Well,
that's right.
I'll have more to say about Tommy Wildfire Rich in just a few minutes. But I must tell you that Rich has been fined. He has been suspended.
Great.
He attacked a referee Bill Rush. And also put his hands on the promoter, Randy Ailes, and as a result, Tommy Rich has been fined and suspended from the USWA. Brian Lee is the new USWA heavyweight champion. Not a good week for, I think, what fans may have liked in the way of titles, because also there is a brand new world champion. The WWF's Razor Ramon was in town.
There he is.
And when he left, he had the unified world title around his waist. So there is your champion right there, Razor Ramon. A lot of changes in the USWA. Well, here's a man I can tell you is probably not too happy right now that we're going to get a comment or two from. The King headed this way. I'm sure we'll have a comment about recent events in USWA action.
You're right, Dave. We're going to have a comment about recent events, and you're looking at somebody right now that's not a happy camper. Now, can you imagine if you look back at what happened here, a couple of months ago, not even a couple of months ago, Bill Dundee comes out here, and he gets in this ring right here, and with the help of Jamie Dundee, he wins the unified world title from me. You remember that, right?
Yep.
Everybody over here remembers that, right? Then he makes his way right over here to where we're standing right now, and he tells me, at least he's man enough to say at that point, that King, he looked up and said, King, you'll be the first person to get a return match for the unified title. But was I the first person to get the return match? Oh, no, I was not. Tommy Rich got a match, and then last week what happens, he goes out and he does something that I have tried, and I have strived, and I have worked so hard not to let happen. He loses my unified world title to somebody from the World Wrestling Federation. Razor Ramon comes into Memphis, Tennessee, beats Dundee, and takes the unified title back to the WWF. Now, Dundee, you owe me a little explanation, and I want you to get out here right now. Come on out here, Dundee. Because you have done the unforgivable. You've lost our title. No, you've lost our title to the WWF. Get him out here right now, Dave.
Let's don't do it. We've got to take a break right now. We've got to get the show underway. I understand you're unhappy. Let's talk about it later. Let's take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
We're at McDonald's All-Star Showdown. Sylvester is surrounded. He breaks through. He scores. Let's see that in slow-mo.
McBacon Deluxe.
Make way for Michael Jordan's McBacon Deluxe. 2 all-beef patties topped with savory bacon. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month for a limited time.
It's good.
Sure is.
Michael Jordan's McBacon Deluxe.
Have you had your break today?
You know those people at Radio Shack? Those friendly, knowledgeable people you rely on? The people who help you figure it all out and explain how to hook things up and make them work? Those people who help you find your way through the maze of modern technology. Ever wonder how they get that way? They start young. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
The Arkansas Federal Visa MasterCard is now available to you.
I've got one.
You do not have to be rich and famous to carry this lowest rate credit card.
I have one too.
As shown in Money Magazine, the Arkansas Federal Visa MasterCard is ranked the #1 credit card in the country. Arkansas Federal is committed to being the #1 credit card, unlike other companies that try to lure you in by offering low interest rates and then automatically increasing them 5 to 10% after a few months.
I've got one too.
Arkansas Federal, in addition to the constant low interest rates, offers a 25-day grace period, balance transfer, up to $10,000 credit line, easy access to ATMs, 24-hour-a-day service. Get the real lowest rate credit card from Arkansas Federal. Call 1-800-477-3348 for your free application form. Stop paying more money than you should. Call 1-800-477-3348 to get your application sent to you today.
Well, Diamond Mike has led his charges in here. His charges none other than Crusher Bones and Chris Canyon. But headed this way right now, their opponents in our opening match with USWA action today, and there they are. PG-13, Wolfie D, JC Ice.
Downtown Bruno.
Hey, Bruno, how you doing? Downtown Bruno here today.
Well, Dave, you know, I've been a fixture around here for a long time in the USWA, over 10 years now.
No doubt about it.
And, you know, I've been in the WWF for quite a few years. I've become a mainstay up there. But, you know, my main thing is my home. This area is my home, and I'm real loyal to this part of the country and this USWA. So I happened to notice that Lance Russell was on vacation today.
Lance taking the day off. He'll be back next week.
Well, all right. Well, I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to come out here and, Corey, if you wouldn't mind just, you know, go over, sit in the corner, and you can go up and do the ring announcement, but I'll take your spot, Corey. I'll sit next to you.
Wait a minute. No. Bruno, it's good to see you. It's good to
see
have
you, Dave.
But we're covered.
But well, I'd like to come out here and, you know, give you my expertise and, you know, during the match, commentate.
We appreciate it. We've got to go to the ring right now, though, and get the match underway, Bruno. Thanks very much. We appreciate the offer. Let's get her going here. No, Corey's doing just fine, Bruno. Thanks. We appreciate it. Again, it's good to know. It's good to see you. We're glad to have you here, but right now we don't need any extra commentator, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, Corey, let's go with this match. I don't know.
Boy. Here we go. BG-13 taking on Chris Kenyon and Crusher Bones. Kenyon jamming away, and Whoopie D whips him into the corner. Whoopie comes down with a nice arm drag on Chris Kenyon and Mars, the former New York Ranger. What Kenyon tells me, Dave, is that he used to play for the New York Rangers hockey team there, and says when the Rangers went on strike, he bailed out of the thing and never did go back. 2 count.
I've heard a couple of stories on Chris Canyon. He claims to be a former Ranger. Maybe not. I don't know. I hadn't checked their roster, but also I understand he used to play in the International Hockey League, which is a fine hockey league, there's no doubt about it, but not the NHL. So I don't know what that true story is. And with Diamond Mike, his manager over in the corner, you're not always sure you're getting the straight truth about the whole thing, you know. PG-13 looking mighty good anytime they step in the ring. Couple of kids who really give away a lot of size every time they step in there, even against guys like Chris Canyon and Crusher Bones.
Yeah, not only that, Crusher Bones putting his 2 cents in it, grabbing Wolfie D by the shorts there, pulling him in the corner, and Wolfie in a bad position over there now, bad location. Yeah, Crusher Bones and Chris Canyon.
Bones was holding him in the corner, holding him by the tights, keeping him out of the action.
Go Wolfie, go! The fans love him. PG-13. Crusher Bones drops the elbow, 1, 2. Wolfie kicks out at the 2. Tough challenge today for BG-13. Crusher Bones and Chris Canyon tagging in and out, looking good as a tag team here today. Pin cover from Canyon, 2, and he's up again.
Canyon a little bit overconfident there. He was going to try to hold him down with one hand. It's difficult to do that anytime. Wolfie D broke out of the cover before the 3 count, and the match continues.
Well, it's good to see JC Ice over there. DDT from Wolfie D. Man, what a move on Canyon. Good to see JC back in action, Dave, after all of that stuff he's been through. Look at this. PG comes off the rope. Cover, 1, 2. That's all zero. PG-13 defeat Chris Canyon and Crusher Bones. Good-looking win for the tag team.
Yes, indeed. PG-13 with a victory. We're going to take a break right here. We're going to come back and try to talk to Gorgeous George III, and we'll see him in action, too, when we return.
If I have to fold one more box, I'm going to snap.
Did you say snap? Slim Jim. Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim.
Mysterious pain has appeared in homes across America.
32. Redouble his power.
Whoa! Just stick it in your Genesis.
Alright, baby.
Can we see that again?
32.
Let's go!
Increase the power of the unit. Increase the power of the unit 40 times.
Hey man, your set was stolen.
Dig out! Dig out! Babe Ruth has done it again. How does he do it?
Maybe it was a Baby Ruth. The caramel, the nougat, the peanut-packed power.
What a blast!
Baby Ruth from Nestle. This baby gets you going.
Ever try to rent a car without a major credit card? I did. I found out how humiliating it is to be turned down after waiting 30 minutes in line. Okay, I admit it. I've had some credit problems. But nothing prepared me for this experience. Never again. Now I've got real security, a Visa Classic secured credit card. Nobody turns this down. I get rental cars and cash anytime I need them worldwide. Yes, you can carry this card regardless of past credit. Call this toll-free 800 number and call right now for a secured line of credit. Be ready for emergencies. Get cash at banks and automatic teller machines worldwide. Discover how easy it is to qualify. Call this toll-free 800 number now. And this won't happen to you ever.
USWA Tag Team Champions PG-13, and we're ready to take on anybody. Gorgeous George, he's talking about, hey, he's got a mystery partner. Well, pal, we don't care who it is. You can get anybody you want because we'll take them all on. Ain't that right, Iceman?
That's right. You know, Gorgeous George, you don't know nobody tough enough to come with you and team to take on PG-13 and come and get these USWA Tag Team belts. So what I'm telling you, homeboy, is you better go out and find the roughest, toughest man you know. We'll see you this week.
Well, we got Gorgeous George III coming up right here, as a matter of fact, for a match. Perhaps we can get a comment or two from it. Maybe find out who the mystery partner is going to be. We've been coming out here spraying all this stuff. We keep hearing mystery partner, mystery partner, mystery partner. Who's the mystery partner? Maybe you'd fill us in.
Mr. Dave Brown, look at your Kmart special attire here. Let me tell you something. I have been around this sorry place for a little while now, and there I find nobody more disgusting than those peasants PG-13. You boys think you're tough? Well, I've got a man to just team up with to defeat you. Matter of fact, he's not a man, he's a monster. He's more scary than your fears or your worst nightmare. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce to him right now. Come on down, big guy.
This is the mystery partner. This is going to be the partner today, as well as a match coming up.
That's right.
Oh my goodness!
Right,
you see who this is?
Yeah, come on down.
Oh boy!
It's Mabel. Now, Mabel we've seen before in matches, including a pile driver match a few weeks ago, which kind of changed a lot of fans' opinion about Mabel, as a matter of fact. But now the announcement made that this is going to be the man who's teaming up with Gorgeous George III, huh?
You know, everybody says that Mabel has a bad attitude. I don't have a bad attitude. I'm the same dude I've always been. But I'm getting sick and tired of the way I'm being treated, not only in the USWA, but in the World Wrestling Federation. I'm one of the biggest men in this business. When I came to the USWA the first time, everybody remembers the Harlem Nights. And we ran roughshod here for 30 days, and the WWF said, we have to have these guys. So we're going back to that type of deal, George. And PG-13, in my opinion, you guys shouldn't even be in the business. One of you guys is just as small as the 1, 2, 3 kid, and the other one is smaller. Anybody that wants to see these guys get hurt, come out this week, and you're going to see a massacre.
Well, we'll see what happens. Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Louisville Gardens, Evansville, anywhere around the way, you might see these guys running into each other. And he's right. I mean, there's Mabel. We're all looking up to talk to him. and you got PG-13 giving away the size. But you also got the fact that PG-13, is, we've already mentioned it during their match, they give away size just about every time they step into the ring. And
you got that right.
So even with a guy like Mabel here, I doubt that PG-13 are going to be calling in sick. I imagine they're going to be there. They're going to show up at the arena and give it a shot. Gorgeous George III, though, has indeed signed a formidable partner in the huge Mabel, and they step into action right here against Edric Hines and Chris Frazier.
Now look at Big Mabel, just goes over and he goes pounding away on Frazier immediately. Gorgeous George III attacks Edric Hines, and here we go. Frazier's out of the ring there early on, and maybe we can get Mabel over here. It's downtown Bruno.
Bruno's back. Now, Bruno, hi.
Wait a minute. Now, Dave, a few minutes ago, you told me my services wouldn't be needed out here. But you know what? I've been sitting back there listening to Corey Macklin. This guy sounds like a fish out of water. Now, Dave, I'll give you one more chance to reconsider. Would you tell Corey to go sit in the corner, and I'll take his position?
No, I won't, Bruno. Now, listen. Now, we told you were welcome out here. You're welcome to come out here and make a comment or two. You're not welcome to come out here and try to take over the show. We're not going to have that.
Dave, I've been coming out here for 10 years, and all of a sudden you're brushing me off?
We're not going to have you come out here and push somebody out of a chair and take over when Corey's doing just fine. And I'm sorry you feel that way, Bruno, but that's the way it's going to be.
Corey's pushed himself out of a job. He ain't no good at what he does.
Oh, boy. Much know what to say about when a guy comes out here like that. I mean, you know, we let him come out here and make comments.
He said hello to me, and, you know, we just as usual.
What's wrong with him? Anyway, let's go back to the match here.
Here we go. Chris Frazier pounding away. Well, boy, this Big Mabel, let me tell you, just dominating Frazier and Edric Hines. And now a little tag team action from Mabel and Gorgeous George III. Double clothesline, and Gorgeous George III. Working over Chris Frazier in there, referee Bill Rush. Checking things out. And a tag made on Mabel. Boy.
Watch Mabel when he comes into the ring. A lot of times he will, there he goes. Well, you couldn't see it, but he steps over the ropes. He doesn't come through the ropes. He steps over that top rope when he enters the ring.
Looks so big, looks like he could step over him twice. I tell you, this guy. Over 500 pounds, this Mabel. Slams down on Chris Frazier with a big right hand. And it's all Mabel and Gorgeous George III. As the beginning of this bout, Edric Hines and Chris Frazier cannot get going. They both attacked him, and it's been all Mabel and George III ever since. Slams Chris Frazier right down to the mat. Still to come today, Dave Brown. We got Jerry the King Lawler right here in the ring today. Looking forward to seeing the King in action.
You know, Mabel made a comment during the interview, and he's right. When he was in the USWA with his partner the first time, they ran roughshod over this territory, and as a result, they very quickly worked their way into other matches all around the country and all around the world. Oh, goodness
me! There's that splash.
So if Mabel is going to adopt that same strategy, that same mindset that we saw the first time they were in here, then we got trouble in the USWA. There's a big power slam.
My goodness, that's it.
There was no way Chris Frazier was going to get up from that one. Mabel just powered him down to the mat. And now look at Gorgeous George jumping in there. This match is over, and what's he doing getting in here with the insult?
That's enough, let me tell you. This Mabel and Gorgeous George III.
PG-13, sits down on it. PG-13 are in for a tough battle coming up this week. There is no doubt about it.
Gee. Let me tell you, this Mabel and Gorgeous George III putting it to Hines and Frazier. Referee Bill Rush asking for the bell. Yeah, let's get these guys out of here, Dave.
We got to get them out of here. While we do that, Corey, I tell you what, let's do. We've had a lot of requests to see this again. So let's take a look at it. Here is the one and only Miss Texas. One of the favorites ever in the USWA, that's Miss Texas. Miss Texas is here right now. Say hello to her. And let's have her over here and see if we can talk to her just a little bit about some of the action that's coming up in the USWA involving Miss Texas in the days and weeks ahead. Always good to see that video again. Lots of fans asked to see that again. We're glad to show it to you, and here she is.
First off, Dave, how you doing?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
I wanted to mention one thing. Now, wait a minute. I wanted to mention...
You wait a minute. You wait. Put that microphone over here. Dave, I don't see the logic here. I've offered my services out here, and you've brushed me off, but yet you told me you didn't have time. You've got time for a video of this goof. Now you've got time to stand here and talk to her about nothing. Let me tell you something, Miss Texas. Don't nobody want to see you, and certainly don't nobody want to hear nothing you got to say, because you got half a brain, you got no sense. You don't even belong out here, so why don't you take a hike, Spike? Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Hold up. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Downtown Bruno.
Bruno?
Bruno.
What?
We butted heads once before in the past.
Yeah?
I beat you back then, and I can beat you now.
Wait a minute. First of all, Miss Texas, the only reason in the world you ever even got in the ring with me, let alone get your hand raised, is because I am too much of a man to put my fist on a female, on a woman, on a lady. Now, I don't consider you much of a lady. I don't consider you much of a female. But you still are of that persuasion. Therefore, I didn't lay my hands on you. But don't push your luck, ugly.
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 Downtown. Mr. Tough Guy. Mr. Tough Guy. What are you going to do, Downtown Bruno?
Listen to me now. First of all, if I wanted to, I could beat you like a dog that you are. But, wait a minute. Hey, this is verbal, this ain't physical. Listen to me, ugly. I mean, you are really ugly with them big bug eyes. Hey,
Downtown Bruno, you need to take a look in the mirror, boy.
Well, let me tell you something. I could beat you up if you'd let me finish before you'd interrupt me, but I won't touch a lady. But my wife could beat you up. I promise you that. She could slap you a new smile on that face, girl.
Wife?
Yes, my wife.
Bruno, you married?
Yes, I'm married. Does that surprise you?
Oh, yeah, it surprised me a lot.
Why, because you wish you married me, don't you?
I don't think so. But, Bruno, I'd like to see the lady who was stupid enough to marry you.
You got one thing right. She's a lady, but she's not stupid. She's a prize, and she's got a prize. She treats me like a king. In fact, I am the king of Wilds, Mississippi, and she knows it. And you ought to know it, girl, because she'd get you, and she'd tear you up like you never been towed up before, little girl.
Okay, Mr. Tough Guy, WWF.
WWF.
Yeah, well, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. I tell you what, you don't stay nothing but 20 minutes to Wild, Mississippi. Go ahead and call her up and tell her to come on down, because I can beat her and I can beat you too.
I got news for you, Miss Texas. That'd be a big mistake on your part to ask me to do that, because if she came up here, especially after hearing the comments you made, girl, you would never step foot on this television program or in that ring or any ring ever again, because she would whoop you, girl. I'm talking about big time.
Go call her. Go call her. Hey. Get on the phone and go call her.
I'm fixing to call her right now. Hey, listen to me. I'm fixing to go. Listen to me now. When she does beat you and when she does embarrass you in front of all these people, remember one thing. You asked for it, because it's like Mama says, it bees that way sometimes.
Hey.
Oh, Dave, I can't wait. When I see him again, I'm going to slap slob out of his mouth.
I understand. I apologize for the actions of Downtown Bruno. Let's take a break. We'll be back here in just a moment.
What happens when the world's toughest cop teams up with the world's smartest dog? Find out on April 28th.
Sit.
Top Dog.
Good dog. Good Jake.
Rated PG-13.
I don't care what you have to do to catch the ball. Imagine it's the thing you want most in this world. Just catch it!
It all comes down to this play.
A&W root beer. When you want one, you want one.
And the pitch to Babe Ruth. How does he do it?
Maybe it was the caramel, the nougat, the peanut-packed power of a Baby Ruth.
The Babe's third finger of the day.
Baby Ruth from Nestle. This baby gets you going.
Call 1-800-340-0123 and you'll receive the IPO Show Information Package, a complimentary issue of the Opportunist magazine, providing the most in-depth coverage of information on initial public offerings. Call now and you'll also receive a month's free usage of the powerful online stock information service, Telescan. Call and receive a free listing of all IPOs that are currently in registration but have not yet gone public, as compiled by the IPO Network's research staff. And if you call now, we'll send you a prospectus for the IPO of the OTC Emerging Growth Fund, proud sponsor of the IPO Show. Call 1-800-340-0123 and receive the entire IPO Show Information Package absolutely free. And as an added bonus, we'll also send you a listing of the top 100 rated IPOs for 1993 and 1994.
You know, Randy Hales, Eddie Marlin, y'all thought y'all was really doing something when you suspended me from TV, suspended me from the USWA. But what I did, I went to the TV station, I said, hey, Tommy Rich has got some money. I want to buy some time because I got a little story that I'd like to tell the USWA and all the wrestling fans that sit out there, you know. I mean, I am here, and the reason I'm here is because they called. They said, we need some help. Well, Tommy Rich come back and help. And now then, like I said, they've suspended me, done everything to me. But I want to go back and do a little history talking here, where it all began at. You know, Jerry Jarrett and Tojo Yamamoto, they're the one that broke Tommy Rich into the wrestling business. They said, go out there and talk to the girls. Go out and hug them and kiss them. Well, I always did my job, and I did it better than anybody they ever had here in this area. Jerry Jarrett, you know, Tojo Yamamoto, Tojo's gone now. Jerry the King Lawler had Sam Bass, he's gone now. Bill Dundee, he's still here because he's the biggest in the whole bunch I got in the USWA. Well, let me tell you something. Tommy Rich, that's the reason I had to leave. We used to go to the restaurants, and the girls would come up and want my autograph. They didn't want Jerry Jarrett's. They didn't want Bill Dundee's. They didn't want Jerry the King Lawler's. So what happened? They all become jealous. They said, what are we going to do with Tommy Rich? Let's beat him up. Well, couldn't nobody beat me up. I had the opportunity to go to Atlanta, Georgia. I said, I'm not going to be like the rest of these guys are. So what I did is Tommy Rich at 18, I packed my bags and I went to Atlanta, Georgia to prove a point. Not to the wrestling world, but I wanted to prove it to Jerry Jarrett, Jerry the King Lawler, Bill Superstar Dundee, that I was what I said I was. And in 1981, Tommy Wildfire Rich, the youngest man to ever win the World Heavyweight title, and I'm talking about the NWA World Heavyweight title when it was the title. Now then, we come back and it's all jealousy. Tommy Rich has come back again, and they're trying to run me out. But the bottom line is, I'm sitting here on the lake, I'm looking good today, and I'm not worried about nothing. Because Jerry the King Lawler, you know you can't whip me. Bill Dundee, what did I do to you last Monday night? Razor Ramon beat you for the World Heavyweight title. So, what's that leave? Now then, they tell me that I'm suspended. So now then, it's going to be Bill Dundee versus Jerry the King Lawler for a World Heavyweight title. The winner gets the title shot. Well, let me tell you something, Dundee, and let me tell you something, Lawler. The bottom line is, the bottom line, the cold hard fact is that Tommy Wildfire Rich has come a long, long way, and it's went full circle. I'm back in the USWA, and y'all tried to run me out, but you cannot do it. You cannot run me out. I've got the money to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And it's not a thing like Dundee say he's hungry for a World Heavyweight title. Lawler says, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Well, let me tell you, the bottom line with Tommy Wildfire Rich, it's not hunger. It's not luck. It's a desire that comes from your heart. And Dundee, Lawler, the bottom line is I've got the money to buy a ticket to come to your stinking wrestling matches. And I will be there. I'll be there watching the match, and both of y'all are tough. But it's like I said, you don't have the desire. Your heart's not on fire like mine is. And so when I get through with y'all, the bottom line is I'll be sitting in that crowd. I'll be watching the match. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care. And I don't care if they've got 100 security guards at the building. Because when it's all said and done, when y'all are through, Tommy Rich will climb over that rail, I'll get in that ring, and if I have to whoop both of y'all to get the people's attention to say, this is the man that needs to wrestle Razor Ramon, it will be Tommy Wildfire Rich. Jerry, Bill, y'all are not hungry, you're not lucky, and you sure don't have the desire that the Wildfire's got, and we're gonna set it on fire.
Finally, that's enough of that. I'm not happy about the way he ended up getting on there, but he's not here today. He's suspended, and he better hang on some of that money because he's fined. He's going to turn it over to USWA. We've got a match going right here, ready to go right here. Diamond Mike has brought in Jack Hammer. And here comes the King, and the King is not, he said it himself, he said he's not a happy camper here today.
Yeah, I don't see a smile on his face at all today.
He is not happy because the unified world title is in the hands of Razor Ramon, and he feels that he didn't get the shot at the title when it was due, or otherwise that might be a much, much different situation. Jack Hammer right there climbing into the ring.
Wrestling out of Detroit, Michigan, and the King, Jerry Lawler, wrestling out of Memphis, Tennessee, and we're ready to go with action. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Bill Rush referee in this one, and here we go. Lawler and Hammer tingling up. Diamond Mike outside of the ring there running his mouth. You hear the echo in the background.
Jack Hammer had Lawler back in the corner, but he wisely didn't hit him with a right fist while he was back there.
Oh, boy, as hot as the King is right now, I would not want to beat Jack Hammer in it. Nice hip toss from Jerry Lawler, and Diamond Mike said, hey, he pulled his hair.
There was no hair pulling. He just peeled him across the ring with that hip toss. Yeah, there was no hair pulling, Diamond Mike. Diamond Mike yelling, screaming, trying for any advantage.
Maybe he ought to take those sunglasses off, and maybe he'll see the action here. Hammer grabs Lawler. Boy, tosses the King out of there.
Jack Hammer feeling pretty good about himself right now. Taunting the King, that's a mistake, let me tell you. Yeah. Jack Hammer hadn't been watching the King in action for as many years as we have. He's made several mistakes already in this match.
Jack Hammer, body slams Lawler, takes him down to the mat. Still got a bunch to go today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Too sexy, Brian Christopher still to go. Also, we got primetime Brian Lee, the new USWA heavyweight champion. He'll be loafing around here today also, Dave.
Yeah, Brian Lee is the new USWA heavyweight champion, but he won it in a way that the fans are not too happy about. Maybe some assistance. Well, more about that later on. Right now, Jack Hammer celebrating. Diamond Mike is just happy as he can be. He's dancing around at ringside.
Jerry Lawler, Jack Hammer. Tingling up now in the ring. Lawler picks up Hammer. Body slam from the King. Boy, Hammer weighing well over 300, about 325 in there. And Lawler picked him up, slammed him down. And again, Diamond Mike saying, hey, he pulled the hair, ref.
Pull the hair, pull the tights. Diamond Mike claiming everything except exactly what happened, and that is Lawler just put it down.
Which was a good move from Lawler.
There was some hair pulling, but it was Jack Hammer that pulled Lawler's hair to yank him back to the corner.
Yeah, now look at this Diamond Mike over here. Diamond Mike getting in the action. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are. Diamond Mike over here screaming and yelling, a real nice guy. Nice guys don't do what we just saw. And that's interfere in the action. Check Hammer grabs Lawler into the turnbuckle. Hammer goes, and nobody home. Body strap comes down from Jerry Lawler. And the king and nailing away on Hammer.
Lawler got him leaning and finally just knocked him off his feet up into the referee. And now Diamond Mike climbing into the ring with a big old chain.
Diamond Mike wraps that chain around his fist. He hits Chuck Hammer. Lawler covers Hammer. Referee up two. He got him. He got him. Joey the King Lawler gets the win over Chuck Hammer.
Nice guy rolls out of the ring, defeated. Lawler gets the victory. Back with Brian Lee and Brian Christopher still to come.
The temperature of your mouth, a steamy 98.6 degrees. The temperature of a winter fresh mouth. Introducing new winter fresh gum from Wrigley's.
Yes. Icy cool flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Icy cool breath.
That lasts. And lasts. And lasts. We can't wait for your reaction. Try new winter fresh gum for icy cool breath that lasts.
You know those people at Radio Shack? Those friendly, knowledgeable people you rely on? The people who help you figure it all out and explain how to hook things up and make them work? Those people who help you find your way through the maze of modern technology. Ever wonder how they get that way? They start young. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
If you've ever wanted to tile a bath, repair a switch, or paper your kitchen like a pro, call this toll-free number now. Because we've assembled the essential steps from dozens of home time projects on this phenomenal 2-hour video with a handy on-screen index to help you find the steps you need fast. Quick Steps covers it all in the 14 job categories you need now. From plumbing and electrical to paint and wallpaper, you'll pick the right tools, make fewer mistakes, and finish the job on time. It'll help you upgrade every space in your home, from your kitchen and bath to your patio and deck. Try Quick Steps risk-free and also receive Common Home Repairs, an hour-long video that helps you tackle your household headaches once and for all. And you'll get it for a fraction of the price you pay for a service call. I guarantee you'll save double the cost of these videos after just 1 month, or we'll refund your money. Call 1-800-445-8700 to get these best-selling videos for just $24.95 plus shipping, direct from Home Time.
Jimmy Harris, the head of security for Prime Time, Brian Lee, has just arrived. I assume you're just checking out the studio here for security. Prime Time, Brian Lee is supposed to be here.
Dave Brown, I think all you people out there know that I provide personal protection for Primetime Brian Lee. And Primetime Brian Lee is, without a doubt, the most professional wrestler in the business today. Now, when you have a wrestler as professional and as vicious as Primetime Brian Lee, well, baby, then it's time to beef up the security. Without a doubt, without further ado, my cousin, the USWA heavyweight champ, Primetime Brian Lee.
Here he is. He does have the belt in hand, and a lot of fans will tell you one reason is because Jimmy provided more than just security at ringside.
Dave Brown, first of all, we don't care what the fans have to say. All we have to care about is what Jim Dotson does and what Primetime Brian Lee does. You see, fact one, Primetime came out here last week and said he's going to take Scott Studd out with one finger. Did I do that?
Yeah, you did.
Next witness. Fact two, Primetime Brian Lee said he's going to take Brian Christopher down, leave him laying in the ring. Did I do that?
Yeah, but did
Next witness. Fact three, Primetime Brian Lee gets sick and tired of Brian Christopher coming out here in front of all these little girls You know, all these little girls jump up and down, Brian Christopher, do this, do that, you're the man. Well, primetime Brian Lee's the man. And I'm going to tell you this, you know, a lot of wrestlers come out here and say, I'm going to take you out of professional wrestling. I'm going to end your career. You're never going to be in this town again. Well, Brian Christopher, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since you're the cute little guy that these little 13-year-old girls run around and say you are, I'm going to rearrange your face the next time I get my hands on you. And I'm going to start right here in the ring today. Brian Christopher, if you're back there, buddy, take notes, because this is what's going to happen. Dave Brown, I'm out of here.
Well, all right, head to the ring right there. We've got a match coming up. It's T.D. Steele who's got to go against the USWA heavyweight champion here today. And I don't envy T.D., but I tell you what, he won't back up from him. Brian Lee, prime time. He's big, let me tell you. He's tough. He has a reputation, and he's backed it up. The only thing that I'm unhappy about, I mean, okay, if you win the belt fair and square in the ring, that's fine. But when you have maybe somebody using a walkie-talkie or other foreign object who's supposed to be providing security for you, that's a totally different thing. Keep your eye on his security guy. Look at this, Corey.
Yeah, Brian Lee shoving TD. Look at TD Steele. Boy, TD's a fighter, and he's fighting back there. Reversal into the ropes. TD with a prize to cover one, and TD Steele had him a pin cover, and he makes a big mistake as primetime Brian Lee comes from behind.
Jimmy, the security guy, distracted him, and that allowed primetime Brian Lee to attack him from behind.
Boy, look at this. Lee picks him up and just tosses T.D. Steele. Comes off the rope. Boy, running off that rope again. It's primetime Brian Lee. The third time he comes down with that elbow again. T.D. Steele. Boy, takes the 2 count and kicks out of there. Primetime Brian Lee, the new USWA heavyweight champion. Boy,
out of the ring goes T.D. Steele, and the chief of security puts boots across his back, those big old boots he's got, and he really nailed him. Now Brian Lee down on the floor. T.D. nailed with a right hand.
T.D. Steele had it going there for just a moment, but only for a moment, as Brian Lee has put it to him ever since.
Into the ring post went T.D. Steele. Now Brian Lee sort of half rolls and half throws him back into the ring.
Whips TD into the ropes. Big power slam down on TD Steele. Man, this Brian Lee weighs in at 288 pounds. Wrestling out of Orlando, Florida. Comes off the ropes, flying with that knee. Covers TD Steele. Hooks the leg, too. And that's it.
It's all over, and there's not much doubt about it. This man you're looking at right here is big enough.
Come on.
Now look what's going on. The security guy grabs T.D. Steele. And Brian Lee has that collapsible, I don't know what it is, collapsible nightstick, for lack of a better term.
Man, I tell you, that is
whatever it is, it looks heavy, and I've seen it a couple of times now in 2 weeks, and I've seen it already a couple of times make its appearance in the wrestling area. So they're over. They collect the USWA heavyweight belt.
Brown, there's a lot of opponents, but just remember one thing, they're not ready for prime time.
Well, they may not be. A lot of them may not be, but I can think of 1 or 2 that just absolutely might be ready for prime time. And that's Brian Christopher, the former holder of that heavyweight belt, who is going to be looking for it. Bruno, you're back. All right. Now, I've told you, you can come out here and you can make statements at the appropriate time, and I think maybe this is the appropriate time.
Well, first of all, it's the appropriate time for you to brush your teeth, because your breath stinks, Dave. But, Miss Texas, I would like to take the opportunity to call you out here right now with me and Mr. Halitosis. We've got something to discuss. Where are you at, Miss Texas, you old buffalo head? Come on out here. Okay, here's you. Get over here.
I don't want any trouble here.
There's not going to be no trouble if you don't make none and she don't make none.
Well,
I don't make trouble. I just takes care of it. Okay, mister.
Say, Bruno, I told you, you were lying. Where your wife? Where your wife? Where your wife?
Wait a minute.
You're not married.
I got news for you, Miss Texas. My wife is here. She drove up from Wiles. She's in the back. The reason she's not out here right now is I'm giving you the opportunity right now to ease out of this, to weasel out of this, to apologize to me and say you are sorry for anything you said about me or my wife, and we'll just let it go and consider it a bad experience. But if you don't apologize right now and get out of it, then you're in real trouble, because I'll call her out here. So the ball's in your court, because you know what? When I kissed you on the head before, it wasn't because I like you. It's because I was kissing you goodbye.
You know what? You crazier than you look. Bring her out. Bring her out. I want to see her.
Hey,
Bring her out.
you asked for it. Come on out. It's my wife, Karen, my beautiful wife. I met her in Glasgow, Scotland, when I was over there on tour with the World Wrestling Federation, and she fell in love with me, as you did, and every other girl in the world. But she's the lucky one that got to marry downtown Bruno Whippleman. And here she is. What do you think, hon?
You made a big mistake, Miss Texas. Big mistake. You don't talk about my husband or me that way. Do you understand?
You know what? If you don't get that finger out of my...
Get her! Oh, come on, Bruno. Oh, sure, Bruno, you hold her up. Hey, come on. Come on, man. Come on, Bruno.
What do you want? That's what she gets for talking about
Watch,
my beautiful wife and me.
That's fighting words. She doesn't talk about me that way. She doesn't talk about my husband that way.
Why, you hold her up. Sure, double tuning. Yeah, that's a fair fight.
That's what you get for not giving me the opportunity in the spotlight that I requested.
I don't owe you the opportunity to do anything, especially not to come out here and act like this.
Big mistake.
Come on, it's 2 against 1 here.
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Break it off, Bruno.
Harder!
Oh, boy.
Bruno.
Slap her across that back. Oh.
Hey, listen.
Come on, Bill. Give us a break.
Yeah, come on, Bill.
Hey, I warned her, and she didn't take my advice. So there she is. It's like I said. It's like Mama says. It bees that way sometimes. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with Karen, and you'll be all right. She made the mistake. She crossed the line, and look what happened. Miss Karen is Miss Scotland, and I say this is also Miss USWA. Goodbye, Jackie. Good riddance to bad garbage, Miss Texas.
Come on. Bruno, I've had enough of it. Just get out of here. What?
She's got stuff in here.
Well, I don't know about that, Karen. It's one thing to be tough against Miss Texas while Bruno is holding her up from behind.
Dave, call whoever you need to call. It doesn't matter if she's a wrestler or not. I want her one-on-one in the ring. I want her one-on-one in the ring. Call whoever you need to call.
I'll do that. Let's take a break. I'll go check that out right now.
I believe that people are basically good at heart. Just because somebody dials 0 to call collect doesn't mean he's a bad person. They're just misguided, product of their environment. They grew up dialing 0. Their parents probably dialed 0. Unfortunately, the people they call have to pay the price. If they had just dialed 1-800-COLLECT instead, a lot of hard-earned money would have been saved. That's where Phone Patrol comes in.
And action.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Again, please.
Again?
Again.
Art thou bored?
Yeah.
Step into a Slim Jim. Turn to the spice. That beefy, juicy taste. Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim.
There's got to be a better way.
After a long drive, why drive around in a strange town looking for a place to stay at a fair price? Just call Our House. Guest House International, a cooperative of independently owned and operated hotels throughout the United States. We'll do our best to find you a clean and comfortable place to stay within your budget.
Be our guest at one of the Guest House affiliates nationwide. If there's no room at the inn, or if there's not a guest house where you want to stay, we'll even try to find you a room at one of our competitors. No other hotel chain will do that for you.
After all, we want you to be our guest. No matter where you stay, just call us at 1-800-21-GUEST. That's 1-800-214-8378, and we'll do our best for you.
Remember, you're always welcome at our house.
And headed for the ring right now, Too Sexy Brian Christopher. Set to go into action here in our expiration of time match in USWA wrestling action. Brian steps through the ropes. There's referee Bill Rush. Final instructions, and we are just about set to go with this match here today. Oh, Bill, yeah. Nice move. Bill apparently was watching Brian's interview a little bit earlier and noted that he perhaps carried a chain with him. He asked, and Brian said, yeah, I got one. Here you go right here. Hand it to you. Just only thing you got to watch with Brian is he may have 3 or 4 more hits.
Oh, you're right about that. Especially with Easter not far around. He may have something hiding around, huh? Too Sexy Brian Christopher going after the Human Torch. Picks up the torch. Slams him down hard. Boy, he picked him up just like a sack of potatoes. They just dropped him down. Christopher's got a big challenge coming up.
Yep, he certainly does. I was just going to mention this big challenge with now the champion, Primetime Brian Lee. And a belt that Brian Christopher considers to have been his. It has been his for a long, long time. And just too much, maybe many things, Primetime Brian Lee being only one of them, cost Brian the belt, but he's planning on taking it back in the big match coming up very, very soon against Primetime Brian Lee.
Indeed. And Dave, the only bad thing about that is this head of security hanging around with Brian Lee.
Yep. And the head of security carries a walkie-talkie and
a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, all kind of hardware.
Yeah. Too Sexy Brian Christopher will be ready for that action. Whips the torch in. Power slam. Takes him down. Man, I tell you. Too Sexy putting it to the torch.
You know, we mentioned an expiration of time match, and our time is really winding down here. Ooh. Brian Christopher, pretty well in control of things.
Yeah, not much time left in this. This has been all Brian Christopher. Torch swinging away and in the midsection of Too Sexy. Shoulders for Brian Christopher, and we're about out of time for this thing.
Time winding down very, very quickly. Brian Christopher with a big super kick. Let's see if he goes for the pin, and he's walking outside. He's climbing the ropes.
Torch is out of it. Man, I don't see any way he can get up from that big super kick. Christopher!
He sits down and covers. 1, 2, 3. We'll be right back.
Bad hair day? Who has time to spend with frustrating hairstyles that take so much time and still don't work? Introducing the quick and easy solution, Twist and Go. In just seconds, you have a fun, sophisticated hairstyle that goes anywhere. Just twist and go.
Doing your hair has never been easier or more fun. Just watch. Take the Twist and Go, place the hair in the center. Give it a half twist under and you pull straight back. At the end, you roll it up, make it nice and tight. You take the looped end, you fold it from behind, and you take the 2 loose ends and you make what are technically called cute little things. It's just that easy to make a beautiful hairstyle.
Seconds is all it takes to have gorgeous hairstyles every day.
It's the quickest way to change my look.
This is the softest and sexiest of any hairstyle. It's my favorite.
With Twist and Go, you can create styles that stay put all day and all night long.
This would be great for my aerobics class.
Say goodbye to bad hair days forever. Twist and Go won't damage your hair and comes with a lifetime guarantee.
My husband just loves my new look.
This is the double bun. I think it's very elegant.
Only Twist and Go will help you create these dazzling hairstyles and more. You've seen similar products on TV for almost $40. Not Twist and Go. Call now during this TV offer and get 3 Twist and Goes in beautiful black, gorgeous gold, and sparkling white for just $12.95. You'll also receive this free Twist and Go styling guide full of dazzling Twist and Go styles. But wait, call in the next 5 minutes and get the amazing styling magic video demonstrating all these beautiful Twist and Go creations. A $20 value absolutely free.
To order Twist and Go, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-473-5200. Or send check or money order for $12.95 plus shipping and handling to P.O. Box 2727, Department 27, Costa Mesa, California 92628. Call 1-800-473-5200. That's 1-800-473-5200. Call now.
Attention wrestling fans, now you can order the official USWA collectibles that have only been available at the arenas. Official USWA apparel, videotapes, plus many, many more items that are favorites among the fans. For your free catalog, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to USWA Collectibles, Post Office Box 1783, Hendersonville, Tennessee 37077. Get your catalog today.
Big day today. Announcement: Mabel's teaming up with Gorgeous George III.
That is a big announcement.
Not good.
Big indeed.
Indeed. Yeah. I tell you what, we're going to have more action next week. Lance will be rejoining us then. Until then, for Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.